One quick reminder before we get into this video, I did want to remind you guys that it is Amazon Prime Day. It is 2 days in October this month. It's both, what's today, the 7th? Yeah, it's the 7th and the 8th. I just finished making a bunch of purchases for the shop. I bought a new 3D printer to have a second 3D printer, and I bought a whole bunch of clear acrylics for using on my new xTool P3 laser. But this has been one of the times that I always make sure that I'm buying stuff for my sharpening shop, whether I need new gear or there's different things that I want to try. Prime Day is always one of those days that I kind of capitalize on it and take advantage of the big savings, because there's usually some just fantastic deals, especially on electronic devices and things like that. 3D printers. Also, if you ever wanted to get into 3D printing, this is always the best prices that I ever see on 3D printers. I've decided this time I'm going to go with a Flash Forge, which is actually, I think it's kind of Amazon's brand, but the one that I saw has had great reviews. It's very similar in style to my X1 Carbon, but at a huge discount. This one cost me around $350, and I think it normally, when it first came out, was around $500. But I've wanted to have an additional machine as I've been printing more and more things 3D. So that's my big addition for the shop this year. And let me know in the comments what you guys are adding, or if you're picking up anything on Prime Day, or if you see a really good deal on something that even I might be interested in that I didn't see. Let me know what you saw and what you're getting for your sharpening shop or laser engraving shop, in case there's something I missed and I might want to add to my cart tomorrow, as it'll be the second day of Prime Day. But just wanted to remind you that I've always hated when I've missed Prime Day before, and there's been like that one thing I've been holding off buying because I'm like, well, maybe I can pick it up on Prime Day for a good price. That's all. Just a quick reminder, it's Prime Day. All right, here's a quick little update for you guys with the RA3. After some really close observations of the RA3, I realized that there is some potential, like some people said, for it to move. It really didn't look like it was, but then when I got in here and just kind of shook it, I noticed that there could be some side-to-side movement. Even though I think the issue was more software, I wanted to be 100% that we are locked in, and I found that these little hold-down tools that they give you with your machine that are ratcheting work really well for holding down your RA3. You just come in here and hook it around one of the blades for your cut base, and then you can just ratchet this down nice and tight. And then when you do that, you'll see, yeah, this thing's not moving at all. So that should stop any possibility of moving this way. And then I also found that you can come in the back here and you can squeeze two more of them in right here, which should hopefully just give you a little bit more hold there. Now, unfortunately, these are not magnetic, so I can't use a nice strong magnet or anything to hold it in place. And the mount for this is raised up using these blades. It's not down on the bottom of the machine. So we definitely need to come up with a way to lock it in place here. And this seemed like the easiest solution. We don't have to build anything, make anything, or get anything else. These nice little ratchets, hold down tools, will do a really good job. And yeah, I don't have any concern now at all about this moving. So we're going to do some more testing and see if that was the problem I had before. It could have been. We'll find out. Here we go. All right, so using full manual mode on the RA3, I was able to get a good engraving on this tumbler. The only issue I'm having is I am finding placement to be extremely difficult. So I do have my laser finally positioned on the top of here. I'm now going to click to measure manually. Here we go. Measure. It says that the auto measure succeeded. Now, my goal, what I have here is just a little line. And you'll see this line is that 815 mark. I measured and marked on that tumbler before engraving. I am very curious to see if we just simply take a word, a name, my name. This is just for testing purposes. We're gonna click engrave. Let's give it a little style because that's pretty boring. Let's go with, they have some pretty handwriting text in here. It's under this section that says handwriting that I very much like. This one's cool. All right, we'll take this one. And we're gonna turn it. All right, so what was really messing me up was I was bringing things and I didn't have a line marked on here, so I would come up and go 815 with this, and it was completely in the wrong location. So you'll see here, like, this is reading 815 and this is reading 815. But when I would take this badge, right, watch this, that's reading 792. But I didn't realize that for whatever reason, this graphic is measured from the bottom. So you see here at the bottom, this is now at 815. But the writing measures from the top of the line, not the bottom of the line. So if I put this at 815, and I'm just going to come down a tiny bit because I don't want it right on the line. Let's come down a little bit. We'll come down to 813 even. All right, so here's 813. This should engrave that line right on that mark. And we're going to use 400 at 55 should give us a nice clean engraving, and at 300 lines per inch. So let's see what happens. All right. So we're just simply going to, and how big is this thing? I'm just curious here. 34 wide. That's pretty wide. 34 wide by 15 millimeters high. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. I don't need it to take up forever. All right. And let's do the same thing here. We're going to go back to our 813. So this should be clearly underneath our 815 line. Should be centered. And let's see what happens. All right. Let's see if this works out. We're going to hit process. There it is. It's saying 3 minutes. We're going to click start. And here we go. Let's see. So that should come in right under that 815 line. And it looks correct. Just a couple oddball things. Like I didn't realize that text it's measuring from the top line, and that a graphics it's measuring from the bottom line. Who knew? All right, we'll let that run, and then we'll clean it off. All right, we're gonna try auto mode one more time here. I'm gonna try it with a different color cup. Maybe it's got something to do with these pink cups. I don't know if it doesn't like them. But I'm going to try this black cup. My goal is going to be I want to put my name on the opposite side of this cup. This is my Yeti right here. And that's really simply the only goal here. Just to put my name on the opposite side, right where I want it, centered over top of the other Yeti, like I do when I pretty much engrave any Yeti. So I'm going to loosen this up here. I'm just going to level the machine. That's nice and level. Okay. We're in auto mode, so when I close this, it should auto detect the RA3. Okay, auto mode is on. We're going to try this again. I thought it was already on. Okay, I took a picture. It should auto detect that RA3. Okay, detected it. All right, I'm going to go over the computer and I'm going to click the auto measure, which should LiDAR read this cup. All right, here we go. I'm clicking it. And let's see what it's doing. Okay, it's reading. So maybe it doesn't like that pink color, but it appears to be reading this time. But we'll see if we get a failure or not. But normally when it fails immediately. And now it's going back. Okay, let's see. We're going to head back over to the computer. On the computer, we are set for where we need things to be. Here is the hard part. I have to now center this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat by using my laser for my RA2s. RA2 Pro has a laser level. This isn't made to work with the 3, but here's the deal. If we just put it on here in what should be dead center and line our Yeti up, you can see we're dead center. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn my cup to center. If everything worked correctly, 815 should be right about here. And actually, I think I want my name even lower. So I'm going to go back and adjust it on the computer. I want my name to start at around 800. So I'm going to drop it down to that 800 mark. But we'll see what happens. So we're closing this, and hopefully nothing changed, and let's see what happens. And everything else is turned off. All right. So here we go. We're going to hit process, start. And if all went well, this should engrave Paul right where it's supposed to be. I'm going to open this. I'm going to take my laser out. Forgot to take my laser out. Okay. Just had to go back and hit process and start again. Now I don't like that just dropped down, but we'll see what happens. Okay, came back up. Let's see how it does. All right, let's see how we did. I think it worked pretty good. Our positioning looks good. Let's do a little cleaning with some LA's Awesome. It's the greatest stuff there has ever been made for cleaning engravings and tumblers. Got a weird line across the middle here. But again, look at our A. Look at our A. I don't think that's right. Yeah, I just checked, and that is, again, another failure. All right? It dropped the A. And we can see that definitely didn't move. All right? So that is, again, like I said, it is not ready for prime time. That is for sure. It should not have done that. This was a Black Ops lettering. There again, you can see we dropped our A. We know we're well locked in, so this did not move. This is just some type of malfunction going on with the text and the program on auto. I think they really need to take a good look at this xTool Studio software because it's definitely having some issues with the engraving for sure on the rotary. Hey everyone, I wanted to be real clear on the few couple issues that I've brought up and also be real clear that this isn't a huge criticism of xTool. I just wanted you guys to understand, like, this is how things go with brand new lasers. And the issue that I'm pointing out to everyone on the P3 with the tumblers is with beta software. xTool's new laser, the P3, uses its own software called xTool Studio. And there are some parts of that software that are still in beta testing. And the issues that I've been having with these RA3 and doing tumbler engravings on there have been with the beta software. So I want to be clear about that it's still under development. So this isn't a huge knock on or in any way saying like, oh, don't get a P3 because it's terrible, it's doing this. Every new laser that I've ever gotten that's been a laser that's brand new to the market always has some little ticks and things going on with software that over time get corrected with updates. And in fact, this morning when I fired up everything, there was an update for xTool Creative Studio. So we'll have to see if anything's working better or already corrected. They may have even fixed it. We'll have to see and find out. But I just wanted to be clear about that. I am very confident that everything with this machine is going to be amazing and fantastic over time. And I don't want to seem like I'm being overly critical of a failure because this is beta software. It is not, there's nothing that says like, hey, this should be working perfectly. In manual mode, when I do everything manual, where I measure the cup, where I put the diameter in myself and do things, I have not had those failures. So this is just something that's still probably needs to be tweaked with the beta software, and it's not some type of problem that I'm sure is going to be around forever or be some kind of a long-term thing. I'm sure it will be corrected and worked out in time because this is how they fix these things. When people like me who use them and then let them know, hey, this is what's going on with the beta software or the new software. And then the one thing I can tell you that I've always loved about xTool is they are very fast at making these type of corrections. I've had other lasers from not quite as big a companies that sometimes getting something corrected could take months, where this will probably be corrected very quick because xTool's just a much bigger company and very responsive when it comes to things going on with the software. It's one of the reasons I've always loved them. So I just wanted to make sure that I was clear on that. I didn't want to seem like I was being overly critical of this fantastic new machine that I so far am loving. So today I'm going to be doing some wood tests on the cutting boards that I make. I have a whole bunch of them over here, and I have my test boards over here that I've run before in the past on my S1 machines. I'm going to run some tests on the new machine because I need to get settings personalized for what I use with my machine on these wood cutting boards that I love to make. I will say this, I am absolutely blown away with how great the CO2 laser cuts transparent and clear acrylics. It is such a game changer when you go from a blue diode to a CO2 when it comes to cutting plastics, especially transparent and clear, which your blue diode lasers can't cut at all. So I have two S1s, and they can cut black acrylic and certain colored acrylics. But even when you get into those colored acrylics, there are some of them that they struggle with, or the edges don't look really nice. They look kind of burned. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it can do it, but it doesn't absolutely excel at cutting every type of acrylic when you're talking a blue diode laser. A CO2 laser, on the other hand, I mean, it is just amazing to watch this thing cut the acrylic and it fall out, whether it be transparent, whether it be clear, whether it be solid colors. It is absolutely what these machines excel at, is cutting plastics and acrylics and woods and basically all those kinds of things. So you're really getting a machine here that does such a wide variety of things for you, which is why so many people that get very serious into laser engraving love CO2 machines. So I just wanted to add that in there because I didn't want it to seem like I'm coming down really hard on this machine. It's beta software. It's being tested. It's not, if it was perfect, they wouldn't have beta on it. Just wanted to be clear about that. That's all. I'm loving it. I'm super happy with my purchase so far. It has been great. The technology that is built into this machine is just blowing my mind. I just can't wait to keep bringing you more and more content using this machine because it is really impressive. And that's it for now. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'll talk to you soon. I just wanted to kind of clear that up and be sure it didn't seem like I was coming down super hard on xTool. They're doing a great job creating fantastic machines, and the P3 is truly amazing. Hey guys, I wanted to show you the dust cover I got for my P3. It's from The Perfect Dust Cover. I have a couple covers from them. I have them also for my S1s. They always do a nice job of building them. I actually have them for my F1 too. That's really nice. They're always perfect fits. They always get their measurements right. And they even are smart enough to do things like compensate for your exhaust or any type of wires and things that you have to go in your machine. Because my shop is also a knife sharpening shop, I create lots of metal. So I like to cover my machines to keep them safe, especially this beautiful new machine with the great glass that it has that you can look in there. I want this to look nice for a lot of years, so we're going to use the dust cover on it.